Welcome back, you guys. Alright, so once again, I apologize, guys. I don't know why I keep doing it, but on this microphone there's a button and I'll hit it and I'll think it's recording, but it ain't. So, but what I done here was I put the right stuff gasket sealer on both sides of the gasket and down on the pan there and across the front where the seal went, and you can see it. I'll show you some close-ups of where it came out real nice, so it's sealed great. We're gonna go around and torque them now. Yeah, I don't know what I keep doing, guys, but this is 12 to 15 pounds. We're just going to go ahead and set it at 15 foot-pounds, the pump and the cover. So let's get this torque down. They might be already close because I hit them with the ratchet. Okay, there's 15. Now I'm just going to go around and just check them all. I got them close for being just the feel of it. Normally on stuff like this you don't want to go too much. I don't know if I hit that one. Yeah. Okay, let's get some on the cover. Sorry if I hit this mic, guys. There's one behind there I can't get to. I'm gonna have to get it with a wrench. I should have done it before. Okay, that's all of them. Let me do these with the wrenches here. These you can't obviously get to, but like I said, I felt it, how it felt, and I got them pretty close. I'm just going to where it's kind of like tight. Okay, that's going to be a little funny there. I'm going to have to get a 1/4 inch drive and get a ratchet on it. And then what we'll do is we'll get it up in the air and put the oil pan bolts in it. So give me a second. Okay, yeah, I just got a shorty here and put it in the back. Okay, so these are all tight. Let's raise it up and get the oil pan. Actually, I can probably get it from here. Hang on, let me hand start them. Okay, sorry about the camera angle, guys, but it's gonna be so. I don't even think I can't find the right bolts. Let me see. Yeah, those are not seating correctly. Let me see what's going on here. I'll be right back. All right, so the bolts they had in it were, they just had real big washer heads on them, and I did not like the way they seated on that pan. So I just got me a couple new bolts on them of my own, and these are much better. They tighten up right against the pan. And then the outer ones, they're fine. So if you remember, it was two that were 7/16 head and the other two were 1/2 inch. Yeah, see, that needs to go more. That one's good. Check the next one, and we are good, guys. All right, let me get a camera so I can show you what's going on here. Whoop. Okay, see how it comes out of the pan there? It's trying to do this. It's trying to focus on other things. That it's focusing on them training lines, but I had to put that bolt in, the one on that side. And let me zoom out a little bit, maybe that'll help. And a little. But there's the bead. If you can see the bead, it's coming out real nice all the way around. So we should be good and sealed there. And when that stuff sets up, it's just as good, if not better than a seal. Yeah, that right stuff, guys. That's also what I use on my the front and rear part of the intake. And I'm telling you right now, some guys swear about them cork seals and rubber seals, and we was blowing them things out, especially if you're racing. If you're racing, and you guys, the ones that race, know what I'm telling you, what I'm talking about when I say, I don't care which one you use. Take them things, throw them in the trash, put a bead of the right stuff or black ATV silicone. RTV, ATV, whatever. I don't know. I'm always mixing it up. But anyways, put you a nice little 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch bead, maybe not 1/4, but 1/8 inch, just enough to where when you put your intake on it, it's going to flatten it out evenly across the front and on the inside. And I'm telling you right now, that stuff seals up. It'll make one nice little seal, gasket, whatever you want to call it, and it ain't coming out. We used to blow them out weekly. The guys over at Jake's, try these. These are you guys are using the wrong ones. Don't use them cork ones. Don't use them rubber ones. Don't use those Pro, everything. We tried them all, and they'd blow out weekly. So, anyway, and you'll see me do that when we put the intake on. All right, this stuff's all on here. It's all torqued. It's all nice. We're gonna keep on going. I'm gonna get. Maybe we'll put the intake on now. We're all good there. Maybe we'll put that on right now. That way it's out of the way, that's sealing, and the motor's sealed up. We can keep the old valve covers on it for now. Because I'll probably prime it, put a couple bolts in these with the old gaskets, and fire it up. And if we have to readjust the rockers, we could take these on and off and get these dirty. That's probably what we'll do. So let me get that set up, get the bolts and stuff ready with that. And I'll bring you guys back. We'll put that on there and torque it down. I got to look for the torque spec on it yet still. Give me a few. Alright, so this is a Jegs brand. And there's some stuff that needs notching out here. So, a little bit on the water port. According to how the old gaskets were. That's what I'm going by. I'm not going by any kind of things that I read or anything like that. I'm just matched up the old gaskets and trim these out. That's it. Now, there's some sections here that, actually, let me check it real quick and make sure I'm on the, it's notched out for the head gasket. I already did the other side. Hang on, let me, okay, I already done that side. So, I just want to make sure my notch is correct. Okay, so I got to get some more on that one. And a little more on that one. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, that's perfect. Yep. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to wipe them off and clean them real good. And then we're going to take some plastic adhesive. This is for like trim around your... The yellow stuff is better. We used to call it Gorilla Snot back in the day. But I just put a little bit around the ports. Tap it on just so it holds it in place when we put our intake down. That's it. And then we'll put a bead of the right stuff on the front and the rear of that. Let me clean that real quick and then we'll start putting this on. I just want to make sure there's no oils or debris. The masking job told us that there's not, because that stuff stuck pretty good. So usually if you got some masking tape and you tape something up, like this especially, and it's good, you should have a good seal, because tape ain't going to stick the oil either. Okay, look at that. Alright, let me flip this around, wipe our gasket. I'm just doing a light spray here, guys, just a light spray. I don't want to get it on our engine. And then I'm just going to take it real quick across the gasket just to make sure there's nothing on it. We were just handling it. I'm going to set those here for a second, one on each side. Yeah, see, this one's got a little bit of marks. I don't know if it's going to hurt it, but that'll wipe it right off just to keep things good. My fingerprint there. Okay, let me grab my stuff. Alright, so once again, I'm going to go around a little bit around the water port, around all the ports. Just a real thin, nothing. All we're using it for is to hold the gasket steady. That's it. The gasket will do just fine sealing without any of this, but and really the thinner this stuff the better, because it'll, and as soon as you get it on there you can feel it. It's like a nice little grip, and that's what we want. That's exactly what we want. Nice little grip. Kind of line your ports up, because when that sticks, it's going to stick. And just keep going around your openings. That didn't need none there. That's okay, we know for the other side now. The rest of it's good. Mentor. Back in the days when I worked at Blagoy's. Blagoy's is a international car service. It's Mercedes, BMW, all Volkswagens, anything foreign. That's what I used to do back in the day. From when I was 16 to probably, I can't remember, at least 3 or 4 years. But he taught me so much. So much. A lot of good diagnostic tips he taught me. A lot of my tools came from back then. I had so many accounts with this already setting up over here. I had so many accounts with all the tool guys, man. I mean, they used to love me. I bought stuff whether I needed it or not. But it paid off. It really did. I mean, I'm glad I did that. I would never have what I have today if I didn't, because that takes time to accumulate. Let me go grab the intake and we'll put our beads on. 1 second. I hope I have enough in this bottle, but the right stuff. Let's put our beads on. Now, where the gasket meets the area back here, make sure you put a decent amount there. It's like putting a weld in. Just like that. Let's start over here. I promise you guys, you do this, those of you that know it, know it. But those of you that haven't done it, you'll be like, man, that cool ass Steve on Midwest Customs channel hooked me up. Look at that. Looks like a pretty weld bead. I wish I could weld that good. Alright. I'm coming in hot with the intake. I hope these valve covers aren't in the way. They shouldn't be. I already cleaned the bottom side of this. In case you're wondering, try to set it straight down right where these bolt holes are in the front. You can already feel it sealing against that. That's how you know you got enough on. You'll feel it. You can even see it start to, it's smashing on it. Let's just hand start all these. Now our back one back there, on this side, we got our part of that coil bracket we made. See, and this, you see how these bolts are just going right in, straight in, nothing moved on us? That's the purpose of that weather strip adhesive. It's doing its job. Because these are going right in. They didn't move an inch of nothing, let alone an inch. Okay, let me go get that, our bracket. We'll put it on with the bolt. Now I hope, I can't remember, hope that's not in the way of, nope, it ain't. Okay, good. Now these are, one's bigger, one's smaller. That was our problem in that video. We couldn't figure out why one was starting, one wasn't. Come to find out, 2 different threads. I wasn't paying attention. I think I had some hernia issues that day, or that whole weekend, for that matter. Okay, I'm gonna run those down with our, hang on. We'll just run them down first. Okay. I'm gonna need a wrench there. Let's go ahead and start torquing. This is 23 inch-pounds. Or I'm sorry, foot-pounds. Let me snug this one up. Did I flip that? Yeah. Now what I'm gonna do with this one, I'm gonna take it down a little bit, but I'm gonna kind of feel what this torque wrench feels like. Okay, let me torque this to about what I felt. Maybe a little more. That's okay. Now I'm going to go around and check these real quick. See? Already. Go around them twice. Oh yeah, every one of them. Man, this is hard on your back, stomach, everything. Okay. One more. I'm going to check them real quick, guys. Technically, guys, we're sealed up. Other than, like I said, I got to paint the harmonic balancer. We can't get heat on that. Everything's torqued down. I went around it 3 more times, guys, because every time I went down, these middle ones was still wanting me to give them just a tiny bit more. So what we'll do is we'll run it, get it through a heat cycle, and I'll recheck those, just so we know it's torqued good and stays torqued. We used to do the same thing. We'd put a motor together, take it out, run it, and then after a couple heat races or whatever, we'd retorque out everything, the headers, all of it, you know what I mean? So, alright, I'm gonna probably get all of our little fittings ready. We'll put some thread sealing around them. We'll get those started and tightened up just so they're in place and not just sitting around loosely. I got a thermostat for this. I'm almost sure it will and can work. It's out of a, I don't know what it's out of, but it fits in the housing nice. So, and they're pretty much, one thermostat will fit 1,000,000 cars. That's how that works. So let me get these fittings ready, and I'll get some thread tape and the correct wrenches, and I'll be right back. All right, I'll put some thread tape around these. So you want your thread tape to go on the way, so this way. So meaning, I'll show you here in a second. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. So what I'm trying to say is, when you tighten this up and it's home, you want the thread tape to go where you're not going to peel it off when you tighten it. So you see how that's going? When we take that down, it's going to go like this in the hole. So nothing's going to peel it up. See what I'm saying? If we go the other way, we're going to be lifting the tape off. So we don't want that. Okay, I believe this one was up here. That's the water. But what? Oh, that's the temp sensor. Okay, that's that. That one is for the brake booster, and that little. Let me thread tape those two back ones real quick. Yeah, and by the way, guys, thread tape is its own subject. People argue that like the fluid type is better and this is better. I've used this for years. I've used them both. They both work good. I just had this handy right now, and that's why we're using it. There is no winner. I've had great success with both. So I guess that's, what's that called? To each his own. Whatever one works for you. Now this is here sealing for water. It doesn't matter whether it's water or air. You want it to seal. Either way. Now I just take these down until it feels right. Until I can feel it getting tighter and tighter. Because it's a tapered thread anyways. And then if it's leaking, we can come back and do it again. Let me grab a crescent wrench for that one. Now that one, if I believe, I'm not going to move it. I think as long as it shoots that way, we'll be okay. I'm probably right in your guys' way. Next time around on this one. I think that one's about right there. If we have to, we'll move it. All right, this one I have to take apart. Let me show you. I want to take this one apart and seal this in here first, and then we'll seal that and we'll put the whole thing in. So give me a second. Okay, I had to take that one over to our sweet Fireball tool vise build. If you guys haven't checked that video out, or there's actually I think 3 of them, go check that out. That's a bad vise. I went off of Jason from Fireball Tools. He's got plans on his site you can purchase. I think they're $5 or $10, and you can build your own vise. And buddy, let me tell you, that thing is a beast. Watch my video, you'll see. If you haven't watched it, let's go around one more time. Now what I'm going to do here, as we're coming around to the finish, I'm going to take it by this one and see which one turns. See how they're both kind of going together? Okay. So I think we'll stop there. I think the hoses came in like that, and then them two. I believe this one goes from here to here, or like that. Let me see. Hang on. And then one hose goes here, another one goes there. So we'll be okay because that one's got, yep, the one with the curve goes in here. So we're good. I think we're good right where we're at. Okay. Give me a second. I'm going to figure out what next to do here. We're going to keep on trying to go here. I do want to paint that harmonic balancer before we're done today. That way it's dry for tomorrow. And we can put it on the pulleys and start putting all this stuff together here. And probably be getting it fired up tomorrow. Not probably, I'd say for sure. So give me a second. Let me figure something out. So these studs were stuck in the valve cover hold downs. So I got them all out. I ran them through this dye just to clean the threads up a little bit. This one here was the worst. Somebody had them in back. Some were in backwards. Some the heads are rounded out, you know, with a Phillips. It's a Phillips thing. That'd have been nice if it was a hex, like a, you know, a hex head. Probably would have been better. But anyways, I ran them all through. Right in the middle here of this one, it's a little bit, I couldn't get it through without, this is so rounded off in here. So, but I think that's where the valve cover is going to be at anyways. What we're going to do is we're going to clean them up with some brake clean, and then we're going to put them in the head correctly with a little bit of thread locker. Let me go grab some more brake clean. I'm going to keep that one separate just so I know. Get a little bit of air. Okay. By the way, there's the balancer. Turned out great. I put a little, with a China marker, just a white inside of the groove of the top dead center, just so when we're setting it, we know right where it's at. And I'm going to also mark the cover, so we're not trying to look for it when we're trying to set the timing on this thing. Okay, let me turn you this way. I put our thread locker in. I'm going to keep this one that's got the, you know, the threads that are a little bit, I couldn't get the dye through it. We'll keep it right here in the front. I think once they, you know, set up, because what I want to happen here is, I want our gasket to sit in there and not move, and then that way we can snug it down, so when we have to take the valve cover back off, if we got to readjust the valves, we're not going to be messing with that gasket, and you know what I mean. It'll sit there, not come off on us. I know I'm in the way, guys. I wanted to get this back one on over there. All right, I'm going to snug these up as much as I can, since they already, whoever put these on did a good job of not doing this right and rounding the heads off. Hopefully I didn't want to put a super strong thread locker on it, because let me try to get this. Yeah, they should stay in there for us, hopefully. I blew those holes out beforehand, just so you know. Try to get any kind of debris, and I just shot a teeny bit of brake clean in them and blew them out. I have for the ones that were really rounded, I got a flat blade. Yeah, that worked pretty good. As long as we can snug them up with that thread lock, I don't think they'll come out. Yeah, like that. One more. If I can see it. Okay. Now, what we'll do is start putting this front together. So the majority of all that stuff's there and good. I just wanted to get those set, get in there so they can dry up. And you know what I mean, so they're not moving on us. And we'll clean those little, the external part off. They got a little surface rust on them. I'm gonna figure out, probably just run some real fine steel wool over them real quick. Maybe I'll chuck them up in the lathe and just spin them in real quick. You know what I mean? And which people, if you don't have a lathe at home, you can just put them in the end of a little battery powered drill and run it and do the same thing. Flip it around, do it the other side. So, all right, let me get some stuff together here, and we'll put our balancer on first, our fuel pump, and then come forward. This guy on here first. Keyways up here. This makes it so nice with the grill off. Let me go get a mallet. Get these things out of the way. Not sure if I have enough on the bolt yet or not. Let's see. Oh, yep, we do. Let's grab our impact. Get a little more light on the subject, so we can see where we're at when we're tightening it up going in. I'm going to try it with this impact. See what it does. I hope I don't keep messing with that mic. Make sure we didn't harm the threads. I'm going to put a little bit of, just a little bit. That's a medium strength. Right there, let's see where our pulleys line up and stuff real quick. Let me get the front one on. Let me clean that hole out a little bit. All I'm going to do is take a little, just shave some of that off with the blade. Okay, man, I'll tell you what. Let me see what that looks like in the camera. Let me try to run if I got one, a small bolt, just so we can get a look at it. I think that's the right one. No, I knew it was a fine thread. I think these are the same. Yep. Okay. I think it looks good, guys. Let me come over there. What's it look like on the camera? Well, I gotta hold it, don't I? I'm almost sure it looks good. I think it lines right up. I mean, it's got to be pretty dead on there. Yeah, we'll leave it right there, guys. I think that's good. I mean, I don't think it can go in much more at all, anyways. I think we're pretty there, and I don't want to keep forcing it. Let's see if I can't get this up on. I doubt I'm going to turn that like that. We got to go. Here's our mark. Top dead center is right there, and our piston should be, yeah, it's up. So I really doesn't matter. I mean, because we're in, you know what I mean, we're not doing anything with the chain or nothing right now. We're trying to set timing, but when I drop my distributor, I want that to be right on the money. So I'm gonna have to get it. Trying to think what I could churn that with. I don't want to keep on putting stuff on the front of that bolt. Actually, hang on one second. Let's go ahead and get our distributor set in. Trying to see where I had. I think that went like this. So number one would have been, according to this, we had number one over here in this area. Okay, so let's see what we got going on here. So that would have been over there. And I think I had this set to where I put a little bit of air tool oil around that seal there. I knew that was going to happen. That was it, guys. It went right back in. The number one's right there because it gave us adjustability. That's probably plenty each way. I mean, that'd be my thought. If we have to change it, we'll change it. But for right now, we're going to set our number one. Let's see where that's at on the cab. We can put a little mark there and lock it down. So that would be over here. Is that right? That's a little far if that's right. Because I set the mark. I got a ratchet or a breaker bar and turned it over and put our mark on top dead center. And the piston is up. So if that's the case, one's over here. That's a bit far. So what we can do is I can take this off and move them all over one. Because I want to have some adjustability here. So what we'll do is, let's try to get it happy in between here. About right there. So we want number one. Everything we're going to move it over one. And I am going to lock it down right there. Just so that don't move on us. If I remember right, that was like a, now that might be okay for now. But I think it's a, they did it with a metric. Yeah. Let me get the right wrench. Yeah, they put a 12 on it. Let me try to keep that bracket from churning. Okay. Alright, we're locked down. Number one's there. So let's do this now. So we don't, I'm going to take these off for now so I don't lose them. Now this one ain't going to want to come off. Alright, we'll leave it on there. Let's go ahead. Hang on, let me get a screwdriver. Okay. I took the one out just to see if I had a good screwdriver. Okay, so what we're going to do is, like I said, this is our number one right here. The button is one over. So, let's pull one off, bring all these over one. You guys get the picture. Let me do it real quick. Okay, now this is number one here. One, right on the money. Okay, so we're set there. I'm not going to put this on now, but I wanted to move those over so we don't forget, and when we're trying to start it, you know, what's going on? Why is it acting like that? Alright, I'm going to keep this over there with that other hold down. Okay, I got my gasket glued on. I got to move this light. See if we can't get this thing in here. I don't have my kit yet for this gauge. I hope we can get to all that decently. We should be able to, because I'm going to change that once our the brass line kit comes. Alright, let me tighten this up. Okay. All right, let's hook our, I'm gonna move the camera the other way. Probably best where it's at, the camera, for right now. I'm gonna put this line on here, the one coming from the tank, which we put new in the car, from the front to the back. They had the plastic line from the front to the rear, which people do it. I'm not a fan of it. I don't know. I'm just afraid that, you know, something, debris or something going down the road, and next thing you know, you got a hole in your fuel line. Whoever's vehicle it is, they're cruising down the road, and you know what I mean? I guess you can figure out the rest. Alright, that one's tight. So our fuel line that goes from here to the carburetor, which I might change this around a little bit. This line's a little weird too. I may end up making a new line for that, so we probably will. Alright, so I'm going to grab, trying to think what to put on next. I guess it don't matter. Maybe we'll put this big, nah, I kind of want to stay off of that for a second. Let's put our alternator in, and this stuff on this side. Give me a second. Alright guys, let's put our thermostat housing on next. I glued the gasket and the thermostat to that side so it doesn't move. Same thing I always do. This side we're just going to put a thin layer of this. Just a thin one. Don't need much. Real thin. That's it. Very, very thin. Now that, I was telling you guys, that thermostat, it's out of a, I don't remember. I had it here in the shop. They all work the same concept, and as I said before, the one part number can be thousands of different vehicles. Like I said, as long as you got it incorrect, nothing's abstracting it, it fits good, you don't see any areas where it's going to create a problem, use it. It ain't going to hurt nothing. Yeah, the only time you get into like specialty thermostats is like when they look special, like a bunch of Volkswagens, they'll have a weird looking one, any of the foreign cars, and even those, they're going to fit several of the foreign cars, not, you know, so like say the Volkswagen one, it'll fit a BMW or a Mercedes too, but you're not going to get it to fit on this. It's going to be some big looking weird thing, but if they look the same as what you took out, put them in there. That's why I keep that stuff and don't get rid of it. You never know when you're going to need it. I mean, here we are, we needed it on this. The one that came out here was horrible. Actually, I'm glad I took the cover off and didn't just leave it and blow it out. You know, I wouldn't have anyways, because we left it on there when we put it in the oven, and I don't know if that other thermostat had any kind of like seals or anything in it that the oven would have ruined. So I wasn't being lazy. I just wanted to sandblast it together and powder coat it together, so I didn't have to do anything separate. And my plan was to take it off afterwards anyways. I think we'll be okay. Guys, I'm not a big fan of that thing. Does it go down here? No, that's got a thing on it. Maybe it goes on this way. Maybe the shorter part goes up. Still feels like there's a little kink in it. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just, and when you know it, I put my clamps on wrong. I think I'm going to go like that and like that. Guys, I do not like that hose. I'm going to shorten it up a little bit. It's just too kinked right there. Let me go grab my cutters. I've had these for so long. Well, look at that. It's made in Canada. Blue Point Snap-on, made in Canada. I think this blade is in it. You can change it, but it looks like these are, I don't know if that's an Allen head or a pin, but there's no way to push them out on this side, so that's got to be an Allen head. Let me see if they cut. Okay, which side do I want? Let's cut this bottom part. I'm only going to go a tiny bit at a time. Let's see what it does. Oh no, they're not going to work. Let me go get the other ones. Let's see if we can't. Some of it works and some, there it goes. Yeah, that needs a new blade for sure. I think I could probably go a little more even. Let's take a little more. Always go a little at a time. Well, that one went through good. That's probably going to be it. Yeah, it doesn't even make a clean cut anymore. It's had it. That's better. That's better. I like that better. Yeah, before it was just too much right there. I mean, we're going to do it with my little... Oh. Okay, now let's put this towards the inside a little bit. Try to feel where my neck is. I think I can go up to about right there. Right in there. Trick. If you, as you're tightening, make sure this part stays flat against it as much as you can, and you have a less chance of breaking it or stripping it. Just something I've came across over the years, and it does work. Just make sure it's staying flat against it as much as you can. This one here is, yep, it needs to push in. I think we're tight. Okay. All right, we're good there. We're good there. What next? Alternator. I wanted to get this stuff out of the way in case we didn't have any. I guess we could put the those two lines on. I don't think that's. Let's do the alternator first because we got some wires here to put back on. I got to look up a picture because we had two different studs on the back of the alternator. One could have went to either side. So give me a second. All right, guys. I want to clarify something on the valve adjustment. We're gonna do this a different way. I went back when I was editing and kind of looked over that. I wasn't real clear on a couple of things. For one, the way I did it that I showed you, I didn't show you setting my preload after I set the 0 lash in all my push rods. So I'm going to show you a different way that may be a little bit easier to everybody. So what you want to do is you want to set it at top dead center, piston up, the mark on top dead center, number 1's over there, or wherever number 1 is, okay? Now, we're going to do this in the way the firing order is. What I mean by that is, so what you want to do is, we're at number 1, top dead center, piston up. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go back and change these. So, and obviously this is easier to do with the intake off, but, so okay. So basically, when you start, okay, what you want to do is, you want to set your push rod at 0. Okay, there it is there. Let's do the other one. I'm going to unloosen it that way. It's like starting fresh. Okay, tighten this up to where the push rod has some resistance. Right about there. Now, I don't know which ways are good, which ways are proven, how to do it with your lifters if they're pumped up with oil. Some guys say put them in dry. Either way, I think it'll work. I'm not sure. If you know different, chime in and let me know. But so we went through and I just set those at 0. Just maybe a little bit more here. Okay, now we're going to put an extra half, 3/4, half, 3/4. All right, now that's supposed to be done. Now we're going to go to the next. So let me show you what I've done up here. Okay, I put 4 marks on the front pulley. Okay, those are going to be our 90-degree turns. So we've done number 1. I don't want to lose you. Now look up your firing order. This one is the 1, 5, 4, 2, 6, 3, 7, 8 counterclockwise. Okay, so get your wrench, put it on your front big bolt. Okay, I'm going to turn this 90 degrees, which is the next mark up. Okay, there it is. Now we're going to go to this one right here. Same thing. Let's adjust it. I'm going to unloosen them just so we have a fresh start. And it's pretty much right about where I had it. Right there's 0 lash. Okay, now half, 3/4, half, 3/4. All right, now those are supposedly set. Now let's go 90 degrees more. There's another 90. Now we're going to go to number 4, the very back one. I'm going to have to go over here. So I hope you get what I'm doing here. I'm just 90 degrees, go to the next firing order sequence. Okay, 1/4, half, 3/4, 1/4, half, 3/4. All right, another 90 degrees. Now we go to number 2. So this one, our second one here. That was about 3/4 of a turn on that too. Yep, all these. So even the way I done it was right there. So 1/4, half, 3/4, 1/4, half, 3/4. Now see, that don't seem right because I'm all the way down on that one. And I've ran into that before with this way of adjusting. Let me take this all the way off. Our lifter may be past the... Okay, let's start fresh here. Completely loose. We want to just take it to where there's no play in the push rod, which that indicates that. All right, let's try this again. 1/4, half, 3/4. Well, maybe I had that one wrong because now that's coming up right. Let's double check this one. Okay, I went too far. So I'm just going up and down with the push rod until it doesn't move no more. Right there. Okay. 1/4, half, 3/4. Yeah, and we do still have some plunge. Okay, good. So that I must have had one not adjusted correctly. All right, so you get the picture here. Follow your firing order 90 degrees at a time. That's all you got to do. and unloosen all your rockers until it's sloppy. Snug it back down until you can't go up and down with your push rod anymore, till it's 0 lash. Put a 3/4 of a turn on it, and you're supposed to be done. So we're going to try it this way. Another guy was telling me to do it this way versus the way I did it, with the exhaust valve up, intake valve down. So while the valve is completely down, that means that, or I'm sorry, while the lifter's completely down, the valve is all the way shut. Make your adjustment, crank the motor over until it's the other way. This one's up, that one's down, and make that adjustment. I've done that for years and had great success. So we're going to try this way because I've never done it this way, and I wanted to clarify, you know, lash, 0 lash compared to preload after your lash, the 3/4 turn I'm putting on it, and we'll see how it works out. So let me finish the rest of the firing order, but I just wanted to show you guys that. Be back shortly. Okay guys, like I said, I've never done it this way before. I went back around and tried it again real quick to just summarize. 4 marks on your pulley. You can draw them with a marker wherever you want, up and down, left to right. Those are going to be your 90 churns. Start with number 1 piston up, top dead center. You'll unloosen your rockers, both of them, until they're sloppy. Snug them down until the push rod is at 0 lash on both. And then you're going to take it. Some guys go half, some guys go 3/4 turn. I went 3/4, okay? Then you come back here, turn your pulley, or turn your front crank 90 degrees to the next mark. Go to the next number of your firing order. So it'd be 1, 5, and so on. And then you just keep going around the motor like that. Now I've done that a couple times. I checked them. I took them back off to see if what I put on them was correct, and it was. Something else we're going to do to double check, triple check. We're going to run a compression check on number 1 here. I put my button on. I ain't did it yet. I don't know if this gauge works yet, so we'll try it. So let's try it here. Yeah, this one's bad. It keeps on I don't have a, hang on, let me find a Schrader valve, guys. I got to put it in from the other one. Give me 1 second. Yeah, the Schrader's gone. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, I have my Schrader valve in the smaller spark plug threads. Okay, let's try this again. And I think it should be like right around 120 something, 130. All right, here we go again. Oh, you know what? I'm sitting here pumping fuel out of the thing. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Well, we're getting good compression, guys. Let me, I can't do anything about it. Let me soak this up. I was going to say I'm going to try to, how can I do that without, let's put the carburetor on it and run the fuel line to it, because it's got to go on anyways. Let me blow this stuff off so we're safe. I'll be right back. Once again, the intake has studs for the carb. I put just a tiny bit of the blue on there. Now the correct way to tighten these up would be double nut it and then snug them down, but we have a bare part here, so I'm just gonna get on that and just snug them, because once again we have Loctite on them. I'm just gonna snug them up just like that. Compression until the fuel panic happened. Okay, let's put our gasket on here. Now, just inspecting this gasket, it's been on there a couple times. It seems okay. We'll put it on. We'll test for vacuum leaks, and if so, we'll get a new one. But I think it's okay. I think it's all right here. Let me at least try to put it in the same order it was in. Okay, where was the triangle? In the back. So, I gotta put it on like this. Well, that don't make no sense. Like this. No. So it would be like this. How was that over there? Oh, right there. Here we are. I'm looking at the indentation of what's on the bottom of the carburetor. So it went like that. I just want to put it in the same spot it was. Wipe the bottom of the carb off. Now, I don't know if I'm going to use this carb for good. We'll see. Because I don't know if you guys go back and watch some other videos, but we bought a carburetor. Chinese brand. If you guys go watch, they done some weird stuff there in the bowls. How did that go? I think it was it's something in the metering plates. They had the holes too big, and he had to go buy 2 new metering blocks, plates, whatever you want to call them. And we tried it again. It was better, but I didn't fool with any more adjustment from there. So I pulled it off and stuck this back on it, because at the time, I believe he was wanting to drive it or something. I can't remember, but so we didn't fool with it anymore. He said, we'll just deal with it at another time. So we'll stick it back on here and try it. but I do want to try mess with it again. Okay, we need a 1/2 inch deep well. Start back here because I think it was harder to get to. You know what? We got to put our, and I don't know if that's going to be in the way or not right now, our throttle plate. Let's see. What I mean by is am I going to have to remove it to put the valve cover on it? We're about to find out. Well, no, I didn't tighten that. Well, it must be in a bind. Yep. Yeah, I'll tell you, if this way works on the valves, guys, I like it. I've never done them this way. I've always did it one down, one up. There goes one of our springs. Anyways, let's see if this is going to be correct anyways. No, we should be okay. I need to see which spring I lost there. I think it was the one on the back. Because I think he was saying it still felt a little weak. So we put an extra little spring on the back of it at the time. If I remember right. I can see it down there. I got to get it. But we don't need it right now. I just want to get this tightened up. Get our fuel line on it. So we can... am I on that thing? What am I on? I feel it. I don't think I can get to that one with that. Nope. Alright. I need a wrench. Okay, where's my 1/2 inch? Man, that thing right in the back of that, yeah, you gotta do open end. Okay, double check these. Alright. 1 second. I'm gonna go through, like I said, guys, and change this, because this hose is just hideous. So I'm just gonna use what's there. Let's tighten that one up. I'm only doing this so we can go through and check the compression. I think I'm going to try to change that. Well, we can't do anything until we figure out what carburetor we're going to use. So we don't know. If we're going to use this one, then yeah, I am going to try to do something with the way the fuel inlet is here. Okay, I think we're okay there. Let's see if we got any leaks. Might have to put the charger on this thing. Let me see if I got any leaks here. It keeps pumping up. Let me see something here while we're doing this. Of course, something else. Okay, that one's down. That one's down. We need to start it to get these lifters pumped up, but we are getting. It keeps going. That time I got to about 110. So we're getting compression. Let's try another one while we're here. Only takes a second. Let's go over to number 5 over here. We'll check both front ones. If I can get to that one. Where you at? Oh, that's right, it goes this way. Well, now if I can get this thing started. There we go. This gauge is kind of hokey pokey too, guys. I got another one, but I can't get it to work right either. I don't know what's wrong with it. All right, let's try it. You know what? As our oil pressure builds up, it's going up, they're pumping up. So we'll try this again. We're gonna crank it some more and try to get our oil pressure up. And because I've only got 4 quarts in it of the break-in oil, because I'm gonna run 5 or 6 quarts of that, run it, drain it, and then put fresh oil in it again. But it is working. So and like I said before, we're gonna mount our old valve covers fired up with the new gaskets. That way we can just pop those off and not dirty our other ones up until we get it correct. Because if we need a little adjustment after those lifters are pumped up, then we'll adjust it. So, but we're going to try this way. If not, we'll go back and do it the way I had them. So, but this is supposed to be a proven way that works every single time. So, all right, let's get the, we'll leave all that on there for now. Let's get the alternator, start mounting that stuff up, because we have live wires over here that I keep on pushing around and setting around. I don't want to keep on doing that. So we'll get all that stuff set up. So we're done with that. Let me get these over here out of the way. Okay. I think I had that running down the intake there. We'll clean it up and tidy it up nice. All right, let me go grab that stuff. Be right back. All right, guys, something I'd done that I preach and preach and preach. Take pictures of everything. Well, I didn't on those brackets, so I had to figure it out real quick. I put them on real quick. So that one went there. The long one went on the bottom on the stud here. But I did take pictures of the wires here. So let's see here. Looks like our black with the yellow stripe goes on the battery. Try to put these on where I can get my boots back on them and everything here. I'll probably be fighting these things on. Does that go on that way? It's got to. Yeah. Why is it not letting me? Okay, and then black with the red goes on the stud over here, which is gonna be this guy. Yellow with the green goes on this stud. Almost lost it. Is that yellow with green or yellow with black? I can't tell. That one looks like yellow with black. So, what do we got going on here? That's them two. That's the big black one. So we got to figure out. I think this one goes here. The longer one goes to this one. That's the SAT or STA. And then, yep, and then the short one goes on the red pole. Makes sense because there's no way that's going to stretch up there. I just don't know why they use the same colors on them. Or at least it looks like that to me. Okay. Let me tighten these up real quick. We don't need this anymore. Alright, all my caps went on. Everything's tight. Let's do this one, spacer, and the bottom one. Whoops. That one seems like, no, it's okay. I bet I'm messing with that mic again. Jesus. Okay, what we're going to do here is we're going to just leave it snug because we're going to be playing with the belts with the AC and that stuff. I think I'm going to run, I don't know yet, but here I am tightening this thing. Alright, that's on. Those are correct. All of our caps are on. Now, this stuff is tight. This one's not tight yet on the bottom bracket because I don't know if I need to keep it loose to tighten the belt up or not. We'll wait and see. Alright, let's get our big power steering bracket. I guess we'll put it on next and mount that stuff up. I think it goes one place, so let me go grab it. Alright guys, I'm trying to get the best angles in here with the camera, but we'll do the best we can. I know I'm there. There we go. Okay, let's tighten those. I need to get it ratchet. 1/2 inch and I think 5/8. 5 or 9/16. 9/16. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I should have took a picture of the front of the engine like I always do. I was just in a hurry. That getting in a hurry stuff, I'm telling you guys, and with this YouTube stuff, everything is a hurry. At least for right now, because, you know, trying to get so much done in a day is, it's Sunday today, and I'm out here working. If that tells you anything. And believe me, I'm not looking for no, whatever you want to call it. Where's my half? Where's my half? Yeah, this is constant work. Non-stop. Okay. Alright. Now this big old freaky thing. Man, it looks like that thing's got a hole in it. Hope that's got to be the outer liner. There's no way that thing would be spraying out of there. Not unless it's a return. No, there's your return. That's the high pressure. Yeah, that would be spraying. At least you would think so. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Might have to get a new line or make a new line. I got the tool to do that with. We'll just have to. And this is, I think, the same line for the AC lines. And I'm going to have to get more AC lines because the way he wants to run it where it's not looking like stuff just kind of laying all over the motor. So we're going to be rerouting things and redoing things on this thing. We're just getting it back together right now. And then we'll do a cleanup job. Okay, let's put this guy in place. And then we can put our AC bracket in place. These go in the front. I believe I can't start this one until I put my AC bracket in. I think that's how I had it. Now I'm probably going to need, well, that'll come off. Matter of fact, let's keep that off for now. Just till we get it sitting in here. Like that. Well, I know it's right there. Now I'm out of that thing. Come on, get in there. It just went in so smooth and easy. There it goes. Oh, no wonder. Didn't see that one, ding dong. Oh, that's going to be fun. Looks like it's there, but it's not. Oh, I just had it. Come on now. There we go. Get these started. I got this one going in there crooked. Okay. Now, we'll have to put our bracket on first before I put that back one on. Let's snug this one up. And get this one going a little better. Just so we're sitting the way it needs to be sitting. Because when we put in that, there we go. Okay. When we put our bracket up here, this one here goes in down here with the top bracket. And, oh man, you know what? I think that goes in with that. I bet you, yep. This one's got to come back out. So let me do this. Let me tighten this one up so it's not moving like that. That way we can start these and we don't have to sit there and try to fish it. Use our head a little bit. Okay. That one went just like that. Start this one. Start the bottom one. Are we on the back? Yep, we're on the back. This one was the fun one down here. I just got to find out where it's at is the problem. That was the fun part. I can't see where the thread is. Is that it? I think so. Come on, going straight. I think that's it, but it feels like it's wanting to go in funny. Let's see what it does here. Yeah, it ain't going in straight. Let me loosen this one so we have some play now. There we go. Straighten that out. There we go. Right in. Okay, now I can snug this one up. All right. Now I know we're going in straight. Snug it, loosen it. Okay. Now we can put our back washer, nut. I believe that one's a 1/2 inch. Yep. Loosen it up a little so we have some play. Okay. All right. Now let's put our power steering pump in. Let me go grab it, and we'll set our get our bolt started in it. Might have to go find some more washers. Okay. Yeah, we're down one washer. I think I got one over here. 1 sec. Is on. Those back ones are tight. These are tight. So all we have to do is tighten up all of our adjustment. And here's what I was talking about on this. We're gonna have to put our fan on, and then I think what I done was I'm gonna put this back slot. I think that's how I had it. Is it that one or the front one? So if we go off the front one, we're going to be going around the power steering. If we go off the back one, we're going to be going around those. Okay, let's go put our fan on first. Let's do that. I bet you I'm going to have to clean that, guys. Hang on 1 second. I'm going to have to go through and wipe all my prints off of everything. All right, let's get this first and just see what it does. I got two different ones. I have a, let's get the shortest one first, which is going to be a, I think it's a 59.5. Yep, and then we got a 59, or a 59 and a 59.5. I think it's what they gave me. So I think I was going to try this. Well, that ain't going to work because it's going to hit that bracket. Oh no, wait a minute, my bad. We're going to run the alternator too. I know I measured something. What does that look like? Pretty good, pretty straight, but yeah, no, we can do that. The only problem is, what are we going to run our water pump off of? Dummy. So maybe I did have those three over there, and then the outer over here. Let's see what that does. No, can't do that. How did I do this? Because I do know that the water pump has to be. How am I going to do that, guys? That ain't going to work because we ain't going to have our water pump turning. I got to think about this one. Okay, the lower bracket hits down there. I wonder if I take it. Let me think about this for a minute, guys. I'll be back shortly. All right, couple things. I got this all mounted up nice. What I done was I made two, whatever you want to call them. It's just to space it out a couple inches from away from the radiator. That way we can get our lines on our condenser. I'm going to take it back off and then I'll show you these. I just took a piece of 2x3 square, cut it in half, and made two 2-inch pieces out of it, and capped it top and bottom, and put a wall on the back side of it, and put welded nuts on the inside, on the front and on the back, so I can bolt it to the radiator support and then the condenser to the things that I made. But I'm going to take them back off and show you what I've done. And also, I waited and waited yesterday for that thing, but it finally came in. We had to get the dual pulley so we can run our belt on the outer groove of the AC pump. So we're going to swap it out too. It looks pretty nice. So let me get my tools ready. We'll pop this off and get the fan off and get this thing on. That makes it nice putting that where it's threaded on the inside. I knew I was going to do that too. This is all they are. A couple little, so we'll just clean them up. We'll powder coat them when we powder coat our 2 aluminum plates that we made for the condenser. So everything's black in the front here. But yeah, that's what I just put. I welded nuts on the inside of that before I welded it together on both sides, this side and that side. So worked out good. All right, let's get our fan off. I guess ½ inch. Well, either that, yep, I think our balancer has to go in some more, guys. So let me get this tightened up. I kind of thought my belt was a little off because if you guys remember, I didn't want to take it too far in and then create a mess. No, that is not going to work, guys. I thought it fit on there flat, and it says that was the correct one. Man, I waited and waited for that thing too. I think it's hitting. Yeah, it's hitting that. Man, oh man. I don't even think if I get this bracket changed around a little bit for the alternator, are we going to be? Let me see something. Yeah, it's completely wrong. So the offset of it, I'm going to have to find. Let me show you guys. Okay, so the difference is, yeah, where our groove is in the middle of this thing. So I got to get a different offset. Man, oh man. Yeah, because all I need is this thing here to be the same with one more on the outside. So I'm going to have to take some measurements, send this one back, and find the correct one. Man, oh man. Okay, all right, let's keep going. Well, we got that off now. We can make some measurements. Let me get this out of the way so we don't mess it up. All right, guys, it's been a whole nother day. That pulley you guys seen was wrong. The guy that owns the car went down to Jegs and picked this one up. It's chrome. We're going to powder coat it black because really nothing else on here is chrome. I mean, I don't know. But we're going to make it black. If you look, they do line up. It's hard to get this to where you guys can see it. So now what we'll do is we'll run the outer with the outer AC around the power steering and around the outer crank pulley, and then all the inner ones, this one, that one, and the bottom crank pulley will be the alternator belt. I measured the belt we need. It's a 52 inch. We're going to get one of those. I'm going to call Riley's and see if they got one. If not, let them order one in. We'll pop this off. We'll get it powder coated. I do have some other stuff. I showed you guys those little things we made for the condenser. We're going to pop those off too, the aluminum pieces, powder coat those. So we'll do all those. There's our old pulley. Okay, let me show you guys what I had originally planned. So I made an idler pulley yesterday. It's got 2 bearings in it. They're in there if you could see it. One on each end. Well, that washer's covering that one. So let me try to get this camera in here. Okay, so my plan yesterday was, and I don't know. This is actually, so there's a bolt right here in the water pump that we can pull out, and that can bolt right in there. The belt would have went around that, around the idler, around that, around that. Everything would have been fine. We would have had our adjustment. The problem with it was, it's really not a problem. I just didn't have, so what needed to be done here would be, so the bolt that we need to pull out of the pump is about that long, probably 3 inches or more, okay? A different size than the ½ inch. This is ½ inch in here. So I would have had to get a piece of steel that was at least maybe 5/8 round, let's just say, solid piece of steel. Made this part in here, put some threads on the outside for a lock nut, changed the size of it from here going into the through the water pump into the block, and made it that's either 5/16 or 3/8 thread on those. So we would have had to change that, and then this would have worked. It would have been there and worked fine probably. So what we done was, he went down this morning to see if this matched, if it matched everything on here other than being one more groove. That's what we thought we was getting through Amazon, and we didn't. So everything matched up. We're all good. I did have to take the harmonic balancer in the rest of the way. I don't know what I was thinking there, brain fart, slowing down on that. You got to run your bolt in until it stopped, guys. I don't know why I thought tighten it up to where I wanted it at. Where I was thinking with that, I don't know. Anyways, like we said before, I show you guys all my mistakes and all my things. All right, sorry about that, guys. The phone ring. Okay, so we're going to pop this off. The pulley thing is a thing. I don't know. So, I mean, I think it'll work, but let's just see what we got going on. I wanted some options is what's going on here. And And if this worked, I said, why not just grab it and we'll just play it all by ear. So now we have options. So if I need to, I'll find some steel, a piece of 5/8 rod down at the steel shop, and we'll make that piece if we have to. Regardless, we have things, like I said, we have things we can choose from. Let's pop this off. We'll powder coat all this stuff, and we'll get banging on this. I got some a better fuel line thing here. You know what? I think it's chrome too. I might want to change it to black. I don't know. We'll see. But we got an inlet that goes here, so it's not doing this with this hose, and we can kind of bring it down some. And then there's some black braided line that we can take from it with AN fittings and make a whole new nice line down to the fuel pump. I didn't know he had that in the trunk. So when I was going through to get all this AC stuff out, because I was just presetting it and kind of running it, and I got one of these wrong actually. One of these goes this way, and they'll go into the condenser, and then out of the condenser into the receiver dryer. 2 lines will go in the firewall, which we're going to make a hole in the firewall to where it's a comfortable hole, and then I'm going to make a nice plate with the we'll cut it out on the plasma table, and so it fits around the hoses nice. We'll make a nice little plate surrounding it so it looks kind of like a factory, so it ain't just a hole with whatever. So we'll make that look nice. So a lot of things coming up, guys. Let me get this popped off. I'm not going to take you guys through the powder coating of this. I'm just going to do it, and I'll bring you guys back when all the pieces are done. All right, be back shortly. Got our stuff done. There's the pulley. Turned out super nice. I got our little spacers mounted on there. They're not tight. I got those pieces back on the condenser. They're all on there. I got to get some more bolts. I need 1, 2, 3, 4 more, and then we'll tighten those up. That's ready to roll. Now on this fuel line, I figured we'll do this first before we go putting this stuff together in the front. So I took this thing off, and I took off the factory little inlet, and I put that little line on there. That's got the, you see how it goes underneath the carb into the side. Got a banjo nut on it up there. Try to get that snug. All right, so what I was thinking, I got a 91 for here. I was thinking about taking a fuel line this way and down like that. Let me grab it. Okay, so it'll go there, down that way, and then we'll take it down. I'm not sure if we'll go through this bracket like the other one was coming, or go around that back there. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, we may go down this back side here. I think that's going to be better, because the fuel pump's right down there, right there. So, but the only problem is, he only had that 90 I just showed you, this straight one, a little inline filter, and a connector for right here. That connector right there for the end to go into that. So, I'm trying to think how to do this, because at some point, the fuel pump has this. That's what goes in the fuel pump. So I may have to go to Jegs and get another 90 that has that on one end and beveled to fit, or that on the other end. I'm sorry, that's not focusing. So I'll have to figure that out. But what we can do for now, let me mount this in the thing. Okay, what we can do for now is get one of these. Let me grab a little bit of oil. It's been a while since I've done some of these. So basically, this stuff here, whether it's the softer braided or the steel braided, you want to tape your end before you cut your hose, because it'll fray up. So what I used to do is, and I don't have any, is a little bit of some kind of petroleum jelly, Vaseline. So I'm just going to put this air tool oil on there, work it on there a little bit. Okay, you want to get your end on there first, and these are hard to do. You got to work that thing down all the way. I'm going to try to push it down, and there might be some easier ways to do this, just like always, but this is the way we kind of always done it. Okay, so when your hose is all the way, let me see if you guys can see this. When your hose is all the way in, it's going to be right at the bottom of that thread against it. I don't know if you can see that or not in there. I don't know what just fell. Oh, so right to the bottom of that. So now once you get it to that point, okay, now put a little more lube on this end. Now the fun part. Now it's got to go in that hose and start to thread. Oh, that one's going pretty good. They make special wrenches for this, guys, where you don't mar this up, but I don't have any. So hopefully this will do it without any damage. I think so. Let me go grab another wrench for this. Okay, that side's 3/4. So just take that thing down. Yeah, they make a whole kit for this. I mean, wrenches, all kind of stuff to make your life easier. But that's a whole, I don't do enough of this stuff, and it's expensive, let me tell you. But if you're racing and you're making a lot of these lines for fuel, and you can get it for water, for all kind of stuff. Okay. All right. There's one, and that still swivels. Hopefully we got no leaks or nothing there. All right, let's go back in here real quick. All right, I'm just gonna snug this just till we get everything ran and figured out. I don't want to mess no gaskets up or, okay, well that ain't gonna work there because that is different. So what's that one for? Did they give me the wrong one? Well, I have no idea what's going on here. Hold on a second. Let me see what they got going on here. Or maybe, yeah, that's wrong, or that's different. So actually, oh, I see what they got going on. So this filter, it goes in right here. Okay, the filter goes in right there. That thing, I believe, and we're gonna try it here in a minute. All right, so now this will go on here. We'll just get it all mocked up on there. Man, I didn't know that filter was gonna go on there like that. Oh well, so that ain't gonna work. So what we can do is use the straight end and go straight into it and do the original thing. But man, I wanted to churn that. Well, that just sucks. Let me see if this thing fits down here. Yeah, guys. Okay, all right. So that's what we're gonna do. That goes into our fuel pump, which means we can use this end down at the fuel pump and come in straight. All right, no biggie, no biggie. We can use the 90 at the fuel pump, if I can hold on to it. So that's what the original plan was, it looks like. All right, we'll come down through the back side here. I want to hook it up, that way we can see exactly how much we need. I mean, that's going to be nice, you guys. If I can get that started again, get in there. I think that fuel pump's got like a kink, a bend in it. It's like bent up. Did I get it? Yeah, I think I got it. Okay. Now, do we want to go? Can we go? Yes, we can. Right through there, just like that. Up through there. Boy, that's going to be nice, guys. I mean, real nice. We'll leave a little extra on it. So I need to put a piece of tape here, and that's where we'll put that fitting. Yeah, I'm going to show you. That's going to work out super nice. I didn't know that piece was for down there. I hope. I mean, it screws in there okay. Hopefully we can get it to seal. Let me grab some. I don't have this stuff they got. You know what? Let's try that. Let's try that cloth tape because it's thinner and it's stickier. Let me go grab it. Okay, I just got a little piece here. Let me put this in my pocket. All right, so right about there will give us some playroom. Now I don't know for sure how they're cutting this. Let me take this off of here. Okay. Let me look this up. I'm gonna try to cut it with my cutter, so I got a straight. I don't think so. I think it's metal in it. So we're going to probably have to cut it with a whiz wheel. Hang on one second. All right, I asked my assistant. That's what she said. So we got it taped tight with that cloth tape. It says masking or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Let me try to get this. Oh, let me go get my glasses. Hold on. Trying to clean that end up a little. Yeah, I tried to burn that little frame part with my torch, and it did. So, all right, what we do? Oh, in my pocket. We unscrew that, put some, and I might have to, I just thought about this, but I might have to take off a layer of that tape. We'll see here. Let's see what happens. Probably. Let's do it. I think all we need is one layer. Let me see where I'm at with it. Right there. All right, so let me cut this off. Now I got oil on it. I know it's turning my hand black, or my fingers black. Well, that ain't gonna work now. I done oiled it up. Let's see if I can get that on without. Man. Why is it not? Oh, God. Holy crap, you guys. Holy crap, you guys. That is real hard. Why is that going on so hard? Is it there? Almost. Holy crap. Wow. Okay. Okay. Let's hope we don't have no leaks, so we don't have to go through that again. All right, let's get back on the car. All right, fish this one down here. Man, I'll tell you, I really like this. I hope it works well. Let me get this started. It's got a, I think it's going. Hold on. Nope. I gotta get it on there just right. Is that it? Nope. I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. I can see and I still can't do it. There we go. Alright. That's our wire to the distributor. Yeah, well, I think that's pretty cool, guys. I really do. I like that. Looks cleaner. Let's just hope it works right. Boy, that does look good. Let me show you. So, down there, we got that. And I think we can maybe put a thread lock or something on that adapter. And there's our 90. Took it down through there, brought it around, inline filter. That looks cool. I mean, that looks way better than it did, don't it? I like it. Yeah, that's a nice setup. Too bad Edelbrock don't give you that when you buy the carburetor for $10,000. You got to buy all this separate. And the line. Yeah, right. All right, I'm going to tighten all this up. I'm going to put some thread locker on that. And then when we start it, we're going to look for leaks. Hopefully there's none. All right, be back shortly. All right, guys. I came in this morning, started touching up some of the black down inside the engine compartment. Looks a lot nicer, just cleaner. Anyways, that's like a snowball effect. One thing leads to another. So the silver filler panel that goes in between the bumper and the core support there, it was looking hideous. So I took the bumper bolts out, took the two front bumper bolts out so I could drop the front of the bumper down to get it out of there. I got it out here on the trash can. That's the problem with being, you know, I don't know what you want to call it. I just got one coat on it. So, but it had little places all over it that just didn't look good. So I figured why not pull it out real quick. He's talking about next winter, we're going to do like not no restoration. Take the vinyl top off, take all the chrome off the car, you know, take it down to where we can put a decent paint job on it and put a new top on it. And let me just show you. I think I have before, but there's just like little bubbles coming through in certain little areas. Right there's a little rust. Kind of go over it. There's some there. It's not super bad, but he just wants to kind of go over it, you know, and put a fresh paint job on it, take care of that stuff. And he's not going to take it out in the winter or nothing. So once we do it, it'll probably last him as long as he's going to have it. So anyways, I'm going to finish painting that. Last night I did put the alternator belt on. It's all on there and tight and ready. And the front pulley. And the fan. You guys seen the fuel line already. I got the valve cover bolts in with the gaskets and snug down. We've had the oil in it. So today I'm going to finish painting that, let that set up for a little bit. And then we'll come in here, put the radiator in it, put that stuff back together, and try to get this thing fired up at least today. This video is getting super long, so what we'll do is we'll at least get this started in this video, and then the last video will be finishing up on the AC and just little things here and there. He's got a couple little, I believe it's missing a little eyebrow piece of chrome on one of these sides. Yeah, this thing right here. He's got it in the trunk already, but that one's missing there. It needs put on, so now it's perfect. We got the front end off. I think there's a piece on the back, like a little, oh yeah, he's got that, I think. If not, I got a buddy that has one. The letter's missing. And he got some, I don't know if he got tail lights or the bezels. These don't look bad, but he got some new ones for some reason. Maybe it was this down here. Yeah, I think he got some new ones. We're just going to pop them on there for now. And that's it. The car will be finished. We'll be jumping on the Cutlass. But yeah, like I said, this video is getting long. This kind of stuff just doesn't happen overnight, guys. Yeah, that last video, we'll jump in there, finish up on the AC stuff. We got to make some brackets. Oh, let me show you this real quick. So yesterday, I took these off of the wires, one of them. I took a picture of it, put it in Fusion, and I made my own off of that with a slot in it to fit these brackets. And those brackets will go back on right where we said. So now, these will work. I'll rivet those back on. See if you can see where the two rivets are. I'll drill those out easy because they don't go down too far. And then we'll rivet those back on. And now we have hold downs on the, it'll look factory and they'll work. So, and we got to put that back in underneath. I got the screws there. And then we also got to find a air, like we said before, that one ain't going to work. So, yeah, we're getting close. So, like I said, today we should have sound. We should have sound. So, let me get a couple more coats on that. I'm going to let it set up. And then we'll start throwing the radiator and the rest of the stuff back in the car. Get the coil wired up, all that kind of happy stuff. All right, be back shortly. Okay, I got some stuff I'm going to show you here in a little bit on what I painted and what I did on the front of this. And then we got the compartment a little bit, the fender wells down through here, up in the front area. I had to pull the valance out between the bumper to paint it because it was kind of it needed hit with a little paint. We're going to go ahead and start putting the wire up the coil and the distributor, get our spark plugs back in it, and get the front back together, and just kind of get it ready to start here. There's no need to watch me put the spark plugs in it. And the coil, it's just, I'll bring you guys back when I'm doing that, but it's just the two wires that go back on the coil. And I believe, I thought we had something, oh yeah, we got to bring these back. We got to bring these back around. One of them is I think one of them is the choke, and the other, I took pictures. I need to see where the other one goes. Oh, it went with the coil. It's one of these go with the coil, and then that's our choke wire. So we'll do all that here in a second. Let me get the plugs back in. They gave us a wrong. We needed one more plug, and they gave us the. I sent the guy down that owns this car, and I think they gave him. See, the one we need is a BF42C. They gave him a AWSF42C. So obviously they didn't ask them, they just gave them what they thought. Two different threads, two different types altogether. So anyways, we got to take back some the belts that go, the big belts that we ordered. She does have a 52. I measured that. It's a 52. We're going to try that one first and see what happens, and then get the right plug. So we'll have all that stuff here. He's supposed to come down this morning. So I'm going to go ahead and get the plugs we do have in. I'll leave number 1 out, and we'll put that one number 1 when he gets it. And then we'll wire up the coil. I'll bring you guys back here when I'm wiring the coil up. But the plugs, I'll just throw them in real quick. Give me a few. So by the picture I'm looking at on my phone here, looks like our white one. So what I want to do is I'm going to put these where they go, and then I want to get a length on it so we can do a nice tape job on it. Actually, we better do that first. Let me try to, because then I won't be able to put these on. These things are so small, I don't want to drop it. Okay, so we have the white one over here, the black one over there, and then this on the other harness. This red one goes on this side with that, and then this is our choke wire. So what we'll do is we'll keep these to length, all these, about like so, and then this harness we'll keep like this. I'm going to shorten this up and put another spade on it. Let me tape this up real quick, guys. Okay, and that'll probably do it. And that'll work right there. Okay, where'd my scissors go? You ain't tearing this stuff, so you got to cut it. There's no way. Okay, and then that'll tuck in there nicely. I'm probably going to put some wire ties here and there. We'll clean it up some more. We'll put that spade on this one to shorten that one up. And then these, we can put these on now. We'll continue to do more cleaning up of the wires and wire tying. And oh, there goes my washer. I gotta find a washer, guys. Let me put this on before I lose it. I don't even know which way it went. Straight down on the ground, probably. Let me get this one on, and then the spade will just go in. Which I'm gonna leave this on the outside, and then the spade will go behind it, like so. Okay, let me find a little washer for this one, or if I can find that one. Yeah, we'll put some wire ties up there. Of course, we're gonna have our lines running, and there's an oval shaped slot right there. I want to see what's behind it. I may run our AC lines in right there and make a nice plate. there or somewhere. We'll figure that out. He's got his washer lines are not connected and they're broke here. He'll probably want to replace them. Okay, washer, and then we're wired. We'll go up here and put the front stuff together. We'll put our cap and wires on last. He's got to get the plug still. And then we'll be close to firing this up. Let me go find that washer. Okay. I like to put the weather protectant ends on all my stuff. They're nicer, they last longer, they're protected, all the above. So we went ahead and shortened that, put this on. Let's go ahead and slide this in here, if I can see. Alright. Looks a lot better now. Instead of that big thing wrapped around here coming out of there. Let's go ahead and put our lower hose on. I'm going to try to get you guys, try and get some kind of an angle in there. I need to be careful, mess up our paint jobs. Okay, I believe that one goes about right there. I'm probably messing up this microphone. Let me get an extension. Yeah, the only one I got's out right now. Oh man, this microphone's going to drive me nuts. Try to get it just to where we need it, because we're in a spot where it's not good. Let's get it started first. Am I going? Yeah, I'm going the wrong way. Let me get a ratchet so we can feel it. Man, I'm just going backwards today. I always push my clamp band down, so it just, I've had less chances of it stripping that way. Okay. This one we probably ought to flip it around. We will. Okay, so now let's go ahead and drop our radiator in and get our hose on it and proceed. This is probably gonna, I should have left that in there until I had these plugs in the radiator for when I painted it. I'm putting them back in. Alright, we got to do this real careful. These are the plugs I'm talking about, guys, right here. I use them like for powder coating and stuff. They're just little silicone. I got them, you can put them on the outside of things, on the inside, on the outside. They're not real easy. I think we got our hose in a good spot. Let me get this sitting where it goes. Let's see. I think it goes over more. Maybe. Let me start this hose. I think it's holding me up a little bit. Trying to get it to sit down. There we go. I think that's it. Is that it? No, it might be that way too much. Right in there. That's about even on these flaps here. Right there is centered. Let me pop this rubber grommet or the thing out and try to get our line started. Let me start these lines, guys, because this microphone's going to be hitting and it's going to sound like crap. I'm just going to start the 2 transmission lines. Alright, got our lines tight, got our hose tight. This thing, I believe, goes in the middle of that. I don't like that. Are we bit? Trying to see if we're where we was. And I think we're there, guys. I'm almost sure, though, that these flaps go. Do they go in? I don't think it matters. Yeah, I don't think it matters as long as they're kind of blocking the air is what it's supposed to be doing. They're just, yeah, I think we're good. Okay, all right. I think we're in good. There's our drain. It just sits down here. I thought it had like a little, oh, there we go. Goes in the front. All right. Let's put our top hose on. Did I want that there? Nope. Put it on this way. Get it down away from the distributor. All right, guys. We got all this stuff back together. Got our plugs in. Got our wires ran, and we'll double check the firing order in a minute. This thing's pretty cool here, guys. It's like a Vever. They make one too. It's like a smart charger, and it does repairs. Like if your battery is way low or whatever. Real cool for as small as it is. But I've had it on, and it's on the off cycle now. It knows when the battery's up to the stage where it needs to be at. So then it'll kick back on when it needs it again. What else? I got the condenser in the front. All that's bolted in, ready. So when we run our AC lines, that'll be in the last video. All of our wires are ran. Coil wires ran. Now on the coolant system, I'm going to do a complete vacuum draw on it just to make sure I've got no hoses loose nowhere, and that'll tell me that, because once we pull a vacuum on it, if something's leaking, it won't hold, so we'll have to find it. Usually soapy water, or you'll be able to hear it most of the time. On these older cars, it's easier. On the newer cars, it's a pain in the butt. So make sure you tighten all your lines on them things. But it's a little loud. I'm going to go ahead and the compressor's probably going to run. I'm going to pull the vacuum and shut it off and let it sit there. So let's start it at least for a second. That's pulling out whatever's in there. Actually, I don't even need that one on, I don't think. Or I'm sorry, damn. Never believe what I just did, guys. I had this open and I shouldn't have. The new fluid. There we go. Watch these hoses suck down. You want that to pull all the way flat. I'm gonna let it get over to the yellow just before the red, and we'll shut it down and see if it holds the vacuum. Pretty close, almost there. All right, let's try it there. Got a leak somewhere because it's creeping up a little bit. Now that could be as easy as but then it stopped right there, so that could be a pinhole in the radiator, guys. So what I'm going to do is pull it, open the vacuum, introduce the Freon, the coolant, and then we'll have to look for it as the vehicle's running. Like I said, it may be a pinhole. It's very little, and if it is a hose, usually sometimes they'll seal up. It's not a bad one. I just don't know where. Let me go ahead and get this pulled again. Hang on a second. It's still up there, but I'm going to pull it, and then I'm going to introduce the coolant. We're going to try it this way because, like I said, it's going to be hard, especially if it's a pinhole in the radiator. And it kind of had a couple spots on it that looked a little funny. All right, I'm going to open this up and start letting it go in. Let it start taking it in. You know what? Did I have that always? I might not have had that one always shut because it felt like it was too easy to open. That might have been I've done dumber stuff. Let me clean this crap up real quick. I went ahead and switched our gallons. That one was getting low. I don't never let it get to the bottom because then it'll pull air. So I stop it, put the new one in, and continue. But when I pulled that, I usually like to pull it right at the yellow just before the red, and I shut it off and see if it holds the vacuum. But this one, I don't think was all the way shut. I think it was like that. It was cracked a little. So, because when I opened it up way too easy. So we'll see. There's nothing coming out now, but of course there's no pressure in the system. We're just about there, and then what I'll do is I'll put the big funnel system here to do our final top off, let the thermostat open, you know, all that. So we're just about there. Give me a second. I wanted to show you guys that. In my other videos it's there, but I'll show you this one too. Okay, let me get some of this stuff out of the way here. What we'll do is we'll top off this radiator. It's right there at the top of the fins. So we'll top those off. Let me zoom that out a little bit. Okay, I'm going to top that off just a hair, just so it's up here. Because you know we did do the we did drain the block too. So when you do a vacuum pull like this, it goes to all those areas when you introduce the coolant. So it's a little quicker on pulling out all your air pockets. These things are nice when you don't have any leaks, or when you don't forget to shut off all the valves when you're pulling a vacuum, like I think I just did. Okay, we're at the top. I'm going to kind of look around. I don't see any green anywhere yet. That don't mean anything. Okay. All right. Let me put this stuff up real quick. Hang on, guys. I'm going to go ahead. I got our button hooked up. Ignition's off. I'm going to crank it over a little bit. I also did this when the plugs was out a whole bunch to try to get the oil pumped up a little bit. So we're going to do it some more right now. We got the charger still hooked up, so let's go at it here. Trying to catch it. Okay, we got pressure. All right, I'm going to, let's try to fire it up. Let's just go for it. I thought I seen a little backfire in the carb. We may have it off. Man, that does not sound like we got good compression. I cannot remember how that was before. Let me see if I'm getting fuel. I think we are. Oh yeah. So we got something else going on here. That should have fired off somewhat. I should have kept the valves the way I had them myself before. We're probably going to be pulling that off and going back through them. Let me try it a couple more times. I know I got my core wires right. That's hooked up. All that's hooked up. Got the power wire there. Everything seems hooked up. Let's try it one more time. And then we'll start testing. Yeah, that should have fired off. Let me, hang on, I'm gonna pull out number 1. Okay, I got the plug out and the key on. I'm gonna see if I got fire here. Yeah, we got fire. So we either got, that's either off, 180, or we still ain't got enough fuel to it yet. Because these plugs are dry. It sounded like it wanted to kick off there for a second. Let's try it a couple more times. What's it gonna hurt? Well, I got the key on, so we can bump it out here. Let's try that. Let me grab a little bit of spray, see what it does. Man, that should have fired. I don't want to flood it. I know we're getting fuel because I've seen it. Can't see from there. Yeah, we're getting fuel, guys. Okay. Alright guys, so I double checked the firing order. That's correct. I pulled number 1 back out, popped the piston to the top. The button's facing this way, so we're 180 out. Why it didn't backfire or anything, I don't know yet. My guess is either these rockers or these valves are not adjusted correctly, which, like I said before, we don't know yet. I don't know. I'm hoping that I'm wrong on that, and it ain't making enough compression to suck the fuel down the cylinders. I don't know. We're about to find out though. Okay, we're about to find out. I could be wrong, but like I said, I've never done that way before. I just went off of the YouTubes of everybody doing it. So, alright, so if that means it's going to come that way, so we want to tighten it about right there. I'm just talking to myself because the mark is not completely on 0. It's maybe ½ inch off from it, so the rotor will churn that way some more, and we're right there, so maybe right here. Let's tighten it down. Get a good starting point anyways. Okay, we're back on. Let me get our plug back in. Round 2, here we go. That is not right, guys. Well, we knew it was 180 out. I'm gonna pull this valve cover off. We're gonna go back through these the way I do them. So give me a second. All right, guys. I already went through that side. Most of these were all at just 0 lash, meaning the push rod was just stopped from spinning. Here's what I do. I'll bump it. So until this push rod comes all the way up. Right there. Now we'll go to the one beside it and adjust it because the lifter's all the way down. So all I've been doing is just like that, and look at that. That's just the lash that was in them. There's no preload on them at all. So we'll put a little bit back in it and go ahead and put our 1/4, 1/2, 3/4. Bump this one up. This one was, yep, just barely a preload on it. Just a little more. Okay, now 1/4, 1/2, 3/4. That's it. They're all done. I already did the rest of them. I don't want to, the oil is coming up through all of them, so we're getting oil pressure. I don't want to make our valve cover gasket oily here. I'm going to put that one back on, proceed to the next step, whatever that might be, to figure out what's going on here, because we've got fire. The firing order is correct. We know the valves are probably pretty dang on close now, and we'll see what happens. Maybe that helped it. Maybe they weren't opening up enough. Maybe they weren't closing enough. Maybe, we'll see. Give me a few. All right, valve cover's back on, round 3. I'm going to try to hold the gas pedal this time, see if that helps it. There we go. Make sure there's no leak. Turn that timing up a little bit. Well, that's going to be hard with that dang. Always do your job the way you've done it before. Maybe there is a new way or a better way, I don't know. My way has always worked for me. I'm going to stick to that plan. There you have it. There's not one clatter. Well, we got her fired up. I gotta get that other spring back on there. Let me turn that up a little bit. Boy, that's all the way down. Yee! Am I going right? I need to get a timing light on it. It sounds like it still needs more timing in it. It's ready to hit this fan. I got a distributor wrench somewhere. Here we go. Oh yeah. Well, it does feel like it's got some better power. So far, no leak. Yep, I see our leak, guys. It's either this top hose or this little baby hose. That was where that was coming out at. Let me tell you. Hold on. If you look down, right inside there, there's a little bit of water. See it? Every now and then, see the drip? Well, where's it coming from? I'll have to put the pressure tester on it, see where it's coming from. It's one of those. Well, there we got it, you guys. It's running good. Burning off that oil. Sounds pretty good back here. I ain't got that other spring on there. I need to put it back on there. Wanting to stay open a little bit. All right, I'm gonna shut it down for a second, guys. Hang on. All right, guys, I got the light off here. I got my timing light hooked up. I'm gonna try to see if I can't see it. Try to get some kind of a setting on it, just to get it close. It's been years. I've had this thing from Snap-on since probably 92 or 3. Yeah, I've had that forever. Let's get it fired back up. I had to put more water in it, topped it off. Good oil pressure, 185 on the temperature. Let's see where it's at. Oh, we got a leak, guys. Not sure what it is, but it's coming out. Oh man, that's some valve covers. Damn it. I done got them smashed. Yep, there goes our oil. I thought I seen that header over there acting a little funny. I got them tight too. Maybe they're over tightened. Let me see what they feel like. I might have pushed the gasket out when I put it back on after I did the. No, they're still. Let's try to tighten them down some. These valve covers are funny. They're like at an angle. Yeah, these are loose. I didn't want to over tighten them. Well, I'll probably put a new set of gaskets on with the other valve covers. Man, we got a bunch of oil down there now. I'm gonna try to let it cool off a second. Spray that off with some brake clean, just so we don't get no oil fire. Because there's a bunch of oil down there. Yeah, that one there is loose. Yeah, these valve covers are like so weird. You got to keep going around, or you'll have a gap in them somewhere. I'm just taking them down until they kind of feel tight and stopping. Let me grab a light and look down here and see if our gasket's pushed. Right here on this side, it's coming out a little bit. It's almost like it's not even against the head. That's exactly where it came out at too, guys. Right there. Man. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I don't want to create no mess. So, we got it running. That's what I said I'd do in this video. Since the valves are okay, I'm going to go ahead and probably get new gaskets, put the valve covers on it, clean our mess up, make sure they're all sealed up nice, and reset the timing before we start on our AC stuff. Kind of tune on the carb a little bit and all that on the last video. On the last video. So, all right, guys. So, like I said, we're going to end the video here. We got her running. Everything seems pretty good, except for that oil leak just happened. I think the gasket just pushed right out of it. Like I said, I'm going to put the new valve covers on it with the new gaskets again. Get it all buttoned up. We'll set our timing. I'll do all that and just set the timing before I even start the next video, just so it's done. And I'll let you guys hear it in the beginning of that one. But we are running good. I want to see where this is coming from here. I can't really tell if it's that little hose. My finger ain't getting wet or nothing. So I don't know where it is coming from. I've run it across the bottom of the thermostat housing, the hoses. It's definitely dripping somewhere. But we'll find that. We'll figure that out. And then we got her running. Everything's good to go there except for the oil leak. Like I said, I'm going to put them old, or the new valve covers on it. I'll get that buttoned up, get the timing set and everything before the next video. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, guys. It is helping a ton. Doesn't cost you guys a thing, but it's helping me out. I got so many good plans for the channel in the future, but we got to get there. I got to get my subscriber count up. Got to get some comments in there. You guys got to start talking to me. What's going on? But thank you so much, guys. Please continue to do what you do for me. I really appreciate it. See you on the next one.